Hey guys, I hope everyone is doing well. Bit of a sort out day today, including the washing. Don't go looking for my grundies. Yeah, just going through stuff that's, a lot of this stuff's been in the loft or hasn't been doing too much. It's been like hanging around. So yeah, a few parcels to go out the door. Some stuff for the local Facebook. So yeah, little airbed. Stuff that's just taking up space. I seem to have accumulated a lot of Star Wars advent calendars and bits, and also just technology. It's my morning coffee. Kind of camera, Sony camera. I haven't used it for ages. It's good for outdoor stuff and zoom shots and stuff I'm not really up to. The gimbal thing. It's just a case which I got for the third-party case for the Sony, and another little camera on top of it. So yeah, we'll see how we do. More sorting to be had. Bit of a room tour. We've got a loft tour. So it's all the shadows. It's going to be a bit difficult to see, but yeah, having a sort out. That's a 360 on it all. But there's all sorts, the usual customary like Crimbo bits and Christmas trees, and got like a poster over there from a Euro. I think it's Disneyland, as in Disneyland Paris, like McDonald's when they were doing like Disney Happy Toys and stuff. Got a big box full of some DVDs. See like The Sopranos sitting on the top. We've got some lunch boxes, some retro lunch boxes. We've got some games. Again, so it's going to be quite dark. Bit of Batman, Game of Life. I think the lights like Hero Quest is in there. Like old DVD players. Way too dark to see what's in there. Yeah, some Star Wars Lego. Take my word for it. Halloween stuff. Probably should get those out. Funkos, bloody Funkos. Haven't got too many of them. Yeah, some boxed. I like to, whenever I get electrical stuff, I like to keep it all boxed. I think it helps the value when you inevitably kind of move stuff on. So a lot of it's like the kind of modern gen bits and bobs. Yeah, more boxes, more Apple stuff. Star Wars corner with all sorts in there, and obviously got Buzz Lightyear sitting on the top. And most of this is Star Wars, with a couple of little gaming bits, but mainly Star Wars, mainly Lego. It's all a bit crazy. I do find some of the Lego sets I haven't got around to doing. Get in this one. But they hold their value. I mean, it's this one. Poe Dameron's X-Wing. Hold the value on that. That one's been Millennium Falcon. That's the one that's downstairs. That's been opened and played and set up. So yeah, a few little guitars. Probably not the best place for them. This kind of temperature, but just a bit low on space. And that's it. I'm gonna continue with my sorting. See you in a bit. Right, a couple of days after the little stint in the loft, the sort out is continuing. It's the danger of having a couple of days off work, so it's the games room. This beast of a pedestal was taking up some gaming space, so got someone's bought that, so they're going to collect that tomorrow. Let's get the light on. So yeah, the pedestal was down there. It's in a bit of a state of disarray, to be honest. But yeah, a few things on the go, including, right, where should we start? I've kind of rearranged this shelf. I did a little YouTube short, and probably for a few weeks I had the Japanese Mega Drive games nicely laid out. So, and then I kind of crunched in some toys and some bits that just looked a bit too crazy. So I've moved the toys around. Got kind of a bit of a revised thing up there. Still need to work out what to do with the Tron light cycle, but I'll find a space. But yeah, it's kind of a bit better now. Back on display. It's also meant that I've again rejigged some stuff. The Switch collection's a bit more accessible because I was double stacking it on part of it anyway, and there was kind of toys around it. I know there's still a few like Game and Watch bits, but it's easier to see what I got. Excuse the wire, not exactly, not particularly neat, but got the Game and Watch there. Got original John Rambo. Cheers, Dave. VTR for that. And yeah, the Specky. I'm having a chat with a certain bear about what's going to happen with that. So yeah, I need to get my ass in gear and make some decisions. But yeah, it's looking a bit better. Master System at the bottom. I'm having a bit of a debate. I think I've kind of won it in my mind. What I'm going to do is three fairly big hitters there. I wouldn't say they're not like rare or anything. Become increasingly uncommon and be quite a good value. And do I play them? No, the only one I really do lean towards every now and again is Streets of Rage 2. But I'm not no massive like nostalgia for it. Obviously, the Mega Drive version is so much better. So it sounds brutal, but I'm I've never really been thinking, I can go for like a full set Master System, and now it's just not going to happen. So yeah, so I think I'm moving them on, and that will just leave the games I do play and the ones that I've got nostalgia for. So I should try and find a good homes for those ones. And yeah, by moving the pedestal, let's move this bag. Still, unfortunately, it's double stats. There's Game Boy games behind those Game Boy games, but at least it's a bit more easy to get to. And then behind the Super Famicom, I think it's like Mega Drive games. So yeah, it's still a bit double stats, and then the SNES at the bottom, the loose SNES. So yeah, I need to sort this out a little bit. A cheesy little YouTube short of Caveman the other day, which is cracking little game. Astro Bros. So the Kickstarter turned up, so chuffed with that. Loving the EverDrive, or the cheaper SNES version, but it does what it needs to. And yeah, happy days. Next thing I think is to sort out the 3DS. So I begrudge moving on at the moment anyway, any of the titles, because they, as soon as I remove one, I no longer have the full set. Sounds a bit OCD of me, but I think what I'll do is, for those really cheesy ones, which I probably haven't played at all, I mean, this is probably a bit of the cheese stack, Riding Stables, Puppy's World. It's a hell of a lot of them. So I'm tempted to box them up, store them somewhere else in the house, and then free up some nice, display space, which could possibly mean a bit more room for some Game Boy stuff. And I'd still need to find a home for this as well, which tends to be my what go-to Game Boy games, either like new ones or ones that I'm loving. So this could possibly go over there, but we'll see how we do. I don't know if I'll conquer that in this video, but who knows. Keep on watching. Cheers. Right, as you can see, I got properly stuck into it. I've taken pretty much all of the Game Boy games that were sitting there. They were like double stacked, and then too high. So there's, I think it's just Game Boy Advance games that you can see there. Still need to get through them. Yeah, bit of everything. So a bit of everything. Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance stuff, some Game Boy there, and this is what was the DS thing. So I'm kind of sifting through. See a bit of a Game Boy section at the top, which I did have some colour in there, Game Boy Color, but I thought no, I'll go back to the original. I'm just trying to make the most of space and thinking, okay, what's the easiest way to get them? So I thought, was having this thing at the front, maybe I put a toy in the middle, or just leave it how it is and then just rotate some of the boxes. And then been really brutal on the 3DS, just the games. So I'm going to play the Louvre one. Isn't really a game, but yeah, Google that one if you're a bit bored. But yeah, I think lots of the other titles there are the ones I'm more likely going to play. So I'm kind of going through a few like platformers, mainly, or puzzle games. Obviously, like loads of blooming Lego. First party Nintendo games mainly, and this one obviously there's a couple of exceptions in there. And yeah, just trying to work through. But here, it's a whole stack of games which I genuinely think I'm probably not going to be playing anytime soon. And some of them, yeah, some fairly tasty titles like the Yokai Watch 3, pretty sought after now. It's one of the biggies, I think. But then equally, that's straddled along by, you know, games that are probably like 50p or a quid in a charity shop. So yeah, we're gonna box them up, put them somewhere safe in the house, but just removes a bit of clutter from here, and then I hope I can just land on something which is easier to locate games I want to play, and just yeah, make it a bit more functioning as a games room, as opposed to literally just being a big bloody storage locker. So I'll leave it there, and I'll crack on and maybe catch up again in a few minutes. Okie dokie. I think that is probably it for today. It's taken me crumbs, probably like a couple of hours just playing around with stuff. Quite happy. Game Boy, bit of 3DS, more Game Boy, and then 3DS. So like I said before, apart from the Barbie, most of the games will be ones that I want to play. It goes to show there's a lot of tut, perhaps unsurprisingly, in the world of the 3DS. A lot of stuff like cheapo kind of puzzle games, a lot of brain training clones. There's probably some little RPG bits in there. Probably just not really my cup of tea. Art Academy just goes on and on and on. So sorry for the motion sickness. So yeah, a few bits to tidy up on the floor. Like I said before, the Switch shelves are looking so much better. Cheeky Pikachu, need to move him somewhere. Chuffed that we've got the Japanese Mega Drive collection looking good. And then yeah, even back here, no longer double stacked. So yeah, get to my predominantly GBA, so Game Boy Advance games. I've got my Super Famicom stuff there, and then Famicom at the bottom. Got the cheeky SNES there. I'm ready for some Actioni. So yeah, happy days. Just now need to box this up, put it somewhere safe, and find somewhere for this as well. And we'll see where we go. Yeah, nice one. Hey guys, I'm camped out on the sofa. Been a long weekend of sorting, and it's only Saturday night. I think it's thrown me because I've had a couple of days off work, but it's been yeah, it certainly hasn't been a chore. It's been quite therapeutic and a bit of a chill, just to go through stuff. So I've been sorting out the loft, moved on quite a few bits, mainly old electrical stuff or electronic stuff that you just know is going to diminish in value, and you think it's just sitting around. Then let's just move it on and put the money into something that's a bit more enjoyable. I've done quite a bit in the room, a little gaming corner, which I think I was falling into a bit of a trap. It was just turning into a storage type room. Certainly not the plan, but just by having stuff double, triple stacked, and that just made it difficult to see stuff, to find things, to get inspired to play certain games. It was just sounds really lazy, but it was just a bit too much kind of effort, and I knew that I needed to do something about it. So yeah, started with the Switch bits, and again, just having everything nicely laid out there. That looks pretty decent. Still need to find a home for some of those loose Game Boy carts in the makeup organizer thing, but we'll sort that one out. And moving the pedestal out, I can finally see, my bloody SNES games, the Super Famicom stuff, the Mega Drive bits, and it wasn't a massive pain in the ass to move the pedestal out, but equally it's a bit of a game of Tetris in that room. So you're better without it. And I was going through the stuff in there, it was like paperwork and various bits and bobs, and so much stuff was dated. There was a few bits which I thought I needed to keep, but not many. Loads of other stuff I took bloody pictures of. And I've literally cleared the entire pedestal, which I've got someone sold it to someone via good old Facebook. So hopefully they'll turn up tomorrow and collect that, and then that's gone, which opens up the room quite nicely. And then obviously the biggie with the 3DS, and it's maybe not a surprise, but carving out the games I want to play, that I enjoy, the decent games from the dross, or the games that just don't float my boat. Some of the dross will be welcome additions to someone else perhaps, but there's not that many really when you carve into it that that I'd kind of really would want to play or do play. So I think with the majority, I'm not I've thought in the past, do I move some of those ones on? But I kind of diver a little bit on it, which probably means it's not the sensible thing to do. And I know in the past I've moved stuff on and then you regret it, and then a collector's curse, you buy it back at a bloody premium. So yeah, I won't be doing that. I'm just going to box them up, move them somewhere else in the house, put them securely. But it'll free what has already freed up the space on the shelf. The Game Boy games, I can now nicely present some of them, particularly the original Game Boy ones and the Game Boy Color. And then on the other shelving where there's the Game Boy Advance, again, it's not double stacked. I can see what I've got. I can get the games out. I need to be careful of that cardboard when I'm getting those the carts out. And I do have the EverDrive kind of equivalent, whatever it is for the it's just EverDrive, isn't it, for the Game Boy? But there's something you can't beat getting the original carts and playing those original games on the on the old hardware. So I'm going to finish my cup of tea. That's been a bit of a different like video this time, but a bit of a different perspective. So we'll see where we go. I think going forward, I need to remind myself, but when I'm buying new things, I need to be wearing that kind of nostalgia lens to say, okay, is this something that's going to kind of float the boat there, or equally is it something that I'm going to play, I'm going to enjoy, or is it just going to sit on a shelf indefinitely? So let's try and increase that focus. Anyway, cheers for tuning in. Have a great rest of the weekend, the rest of the week, whenever this ruddy video gets put out, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.